You're listening to Chip Chat on Rip Radio Network.
It is 9:30 on a Thursday night. You're tuned in to Rip Radio Network, which can mean one and only thing. It's election week.
Hey,
Welcome
I didn't bring my flag. I forgot it.
I'm kind of wearing a flag.
Kind of.
It's my flag.
Hey, there you go.
Welcome to Chip Chat, everybody. I'm Chip. Who are you, Tez?
You just told him what's popping up.
This is my maximum celebrate. I've got my red, white, and blue PBR hat. I've got my Socks the Cat inauguration T-shirt.
Oh, that is really good vintage.
This is old school.
I was breaking down.
You weren't alive yet.
Come on, don't do that to me. I was alive. You know what? Hell, I wasn't alive. First of all, I remember that vividly because in my neighborhood, and people don't think this, and it's on YouTube if you want to find this, that he walked up he walked up Georgia Avenue. And there was just a big celebration down on Kennedy Street and walking up Georgia and Kennedy. And I remember going there vividly with my father after that. So, yes, I
was out on there and we were down on the mall and partying. Peter, Paul, and Mary were singing. And it was a whole thing.
Huge.
It was huge. And Bill Jeff's got a mixed history.
Yes.
Yeah. But, coming out of the Reagan years.
Yeah,
this was the thing.
Insane. It's like
the sun all of a sudden started shining.
And obviously, he was able, the perfect candidate with charm and
he was everything.
Yeah. So.
It's a shame that he was also a sleazebag.
Exactly.
Because there's so many other good things. He's still really smart, and he still knows how to say the right things.
Yeah, I think
it's just a sleazebag.
Yeah, you look back, I guess, also too, and the axe to the welfare programs was I'll be more Reagan than you.
I don't know that there was anybody else really who was honestly in a position of power.
Oh no, it had already been set.
Otherwise,
it had already been set.
The whole country had already decided that
the
this
first
had
big
to
lie.
happen. Yeah,
he's right.
Maybe
the
government,
government,
in my lifetime.
The government. Well, yes. Well,
the welfare queen.
Yeah, the government is the worst thing about this country.
Yeah,
the government is not here to help.
Government is not. Cannot solve all of your problems. Elect me and I'll prove it.
Yeah.
That's the Reagan mantra.
God.
Isn't it great? Don't worry. The real welfare queen's called Exxon.
That's the best. That's already the best
Not
clip.
making that
That's
up.
the best clip of the night already.
So welcome to Chip Chat
Yes.
while the Republic still stands.
Yeah.
As this experiment in democracy comes to an end, we're looking at other options as a result of that. No, we're not kidding. No, maybe. I don't know. I still think the country's falling apart.
I think
you're going to convince me otherwise.
I think not me. I think around the country, the electorate in certain parts, not everywhere, obviously, because we had 300 plus election deniers on the ballot, and a lot of them won. But you did see where everybody was like, "Oh, no one cares about democracy. It's inflation. It's inflation."
No. But the exit poll says it actually is. It's democracy and abortion.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about all of that.
Yeah.
But anyway, as the Republic is still currently standing, we are hedging our bets. We do want to find an exit strategy. So,
yes, for our show,
we are going to talk to somebody who already has an exit strategy.
Yeah.
Her Imperial Majesty Christina the First and Second of the micronation of Cycoldia.
Cycoldia, yep.
Yeah. Now, I am curious about the first and second thing, so we're going to ask her about that. I don't know how, but she's the emperor.
Yeah. That's how.
Also, right. We're going to explore our new micronation. We might come up with one. We're pondering the idea.
Yeah.
We've got a few ideas. And of course, we'll have the various election results, maybe a Tez talk.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something, some birds. We will ask Her Majesty to play Florida or not.
Ah, of course.
Which is a good one this week.
Yeah.
So,
I saw where it was at. Yeah.
Okay.
So
you already know.
I can't play.
And a bunch of other stuff's going to happen. So you never know.
Already? 4 minutes in.
Yeah, breaking news. Just to let everybody know, if you haven't last week we did the Rippy nomination announcements.
Yes.
So as of now, I have just been informed that voting has begun.
Voting's
wow.
live.
Voting
All right.
is available
Voting is
now.
live.
It was
So-
a little early. It was supposed to start on Friday.
Yeah, well, it was supposed to start on Monday.
No, it was supposed to start on Friday.
Friday. So,
But now all the
go-
best things start on Thursday.
Yes.
Yes,
See,
there you
yeah. So,
Thursday's
if
the
you
new
go
Friday.
to rippies2022.com, that's Rippies, RIPPYS 2022.com. That's where you'll see the candidates. You get a chance to vote for Tez
Yes.
as best
Vote
male
for
personalities.
Tez.
Yes,
And-
please.
For Prez.
Yes,
Tez for
and
press.
you can vote for Chip Chat for Show of the Year.
Please do
So, and
No,
remember,
you should get to win something.
yes,
I've
and
already
remember,
won one of these
Fair.
things.
yes. And remember, Rippy's show will be Saturday, December 17th at 8 p.m. More information will probably be on this website about location and tickets and all that stuff.
There we go. We broke the
Dynamite.
nominees,
Look at
and now
that.
we broke the voting.
Hey.
Well, we didn't break the voting, but
No,
we
not yet.
not that way. Not that way.
It's all fixed. It's rigged.
Yeah.
Build the wall. We have to stop certain people from voting.
Yeah.
Stop all the voting right now. We've already voted. That's it. I don't want any more ballots counted.
No more.
They should stop counting immediately.
No, immediately.
We're gonna
Yeah.
get Bill Barr. It's gonna do it. No.
Oh wow.
It's a whole thing.
It's a lot.
All right. So you got a word?
I've
I've got a word.
Yeah, I got a word.
Okay. So sit back, grab some.
Mastodon.
It's democracy time. You're listening to the best show, the only show, Chip Chat on Rip Radio Network.
Sweeps.
All right, welcome back to Chip Chat here on Rip Radio Network. I'm your host, Chip. With me is Tez.
What's popping out?
All right, so we had an election this week.
Yes.
And there were results from the election this week, which did not go the way hardly anybody expected. A lot of the people said it was going to go big red wave.
Polling has been off for how long now? At this point, a long time.
Well, this one, maybe the polls were right. And then people talked themselves out of it. But the pundits were wrong. The networks
Yes,
were wrong.
every
All
year.
the networks were wrong. Everybody got this wrong.
Right. I think, and
I got it wrong.
Myself as well. Yeah. And it almost feels like in a lot of these things that we were used to, I think whether it's politics or even the economy, where things used to run a certain way, now it does feel like it's disjointed. They talked to us for a long time about, hey, you can't run these low interest rates forever like this, but they ran and like nothing really happens. Like, okay, like right now inflation is high as hell, but jobs are still like, this election here happened and
Everything's kind of, the fundamentals don't seem to apply
it doesn't anymore. There's no way to call any of this stuff.
It's hard to know, but the sort of like big takeaway from this, I think that everybody has learned is stop betting against Joe Biden. You have got to be off of your fucking rocker to keep betting against this wily old man. And he's been a wily old man since he was elected to the Senate when he was 29.
long time.
This guy is the ultimate political winner.
Yeah.
He just keeps winning. And you never know how. It's kind of sneaky, but he's doing it. Everybody bet against him in the primaries and he surges up and he wins. They bet against him against Trump. He beats Trump. Now this is not in my lifetime has there been a midterm that went like this.
No, never.
I've never seen anything like this.
Never seen
The
it.
midterms are when, what did Barrio call it? We got shellacked.
Yes.
Is when the party in power takes a whooping. It's just a natural thing. There's a check. And we were all geared up for that to take place. And then it doesn't because the party out of power
There you go.
has jacked themselves so far off.
Yeah.
I said that on purpose, jacked themselves off of the mainstream.
Yeah.
That they no longer can capture any of the sort of let's just put a check on people vote because they're nuts.
Yeah.
This was their election to lose and they did it. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. It's like walking into an IHOP, okay? Walking into an IHOP and somehow coming away with cornflakes. Like, I don't know how you can manage that. I guess it's technically doable.
It is. They probably have little boxes,
why?
the little boxes
Yeah.
somewhere around.
But why
Hey, a
on
little-
God's green earth would you do that?
I mean, again, there has been a bet since 2016 on the rabid base of what Trump is able to go ahead and rile up, and that bet worked in a weird way in 2016
For a while.
But also, too,
Ran
remember
Paul Ryan out of town.
Yeah, remember when you
Remember that crazy right-wing
Right.
asshole?
when people feel like you're taking something away from them, that's when here's the example I'll give to folks. You might have, as a child, you might have had toys, a lot of things like that nature, and you might not have played with a certain toy, but let someone else ask for it, your brother, your sister.
All of a sudden you need
now
that.
you're like, well, no, I want this. Like, hold on. And it's just the idea of something being taken away from you. And in this case, things are not ideas.
Your analogy here is abortion. I think.
Yes, seriously. Yeah, and these aren't ideas. These are people's fundamental rights.
It's not just fundamental rights. I think that this cycle, a lot of men in this country found out what a miscarriage is, found out what an ectopic pregnancy is, found out that there are reasons that people have abortions that aren't because they're dirty sluts.
Right.
And for the longest time, they didn't have to worry. They didn't have to know that because things all just sort of happened. And now, the threat is when I think probably for a lot of men, I might have even been in this group for a long time. When I would hear people say abortion is healthcare, I would be like, right, I know I'm supposed to say that because that's what all the Planned Parenthood flyers say. But I was like, wait, is it healthcare? I mean, like, it all seems like healthcare. There's a doctor involved.
Right.
I guess it's healthcare. Now, all these men found out that it is life-saving healthcare.
Yeah.
It is not bad choice healthcare. It's not, I want to go get my lips plumped so I look good on Instagram healthcare. It's healthcare.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to die if I don't get this healthcare. Same
Simple
way,
and
like,
plain.
your spleen is ruptured.
Simple and plain.
Healthcare.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, shit, my sister had one of those. You know what? Vote.
And then, I mean, the other one, democracy, like, that one is like, I think
that was so far down the list in the polls,
but
and they were all wrong.
and again, it is kind of, it's almost a little hurtful that the fourth estate would be the ones to go out there and say that would be like, because again, it shouldn't, like, who are we actually who are we talking to at that point? Maybe we again need to reevaluate, because again, that also
is garbage now, because there's no way to know who you're talking to.
Fair.
It's hard to weight this stuff.
Fair, and also we do know what's going to actually sell, and I do think we always have to look now to be a little cautious of, hey, would this have worked better if it went the normal way, where everybody could jump on, like, and all the papers could go throw on the front page, hey, X, Y, and Z, it's a referendum on, like, the low approval rating of the president. And the media's probably gotten used to the cycle and how they plan to actually go through it.
They're actually, missing the clicks that they were getting in the nonstop peril that we were in for the previous 4 years. Like, but I also think that the people that are responding to polls, at least on the right, are intentionally trying to throw them off. Because there is this idea amongst the right wing that you should never tell the truth to a reporter or a pollster or anything, because it's all part of the grand conspiracy against them or whatever. And so they just will lie. And you're like, what's your main issue? And they'll be like, it's that they're just lying. Or they just, I mean, who are you going to vote for? And they'll be like, I don't know. There's this weird thing that they're saying, like, who do you think your neighbors and friends are going to vote
one, because
for?
they say that can give you a larger sample base.
Yeah, but I think that even then it's shaped drastically by what people are exposed to. If what you're being told is that there's this red wave coming, and the pollster asks you, what do you think people are going to vote for? You're going to like, well, it seems like they're going to vote for this red wave. It doesn't mean that it's true.
Also, too, I think, again, what we saw the turnout number, like the pre-election day numbers.
Early
voting was
and
huge.
The young vote was huge.
And we already know that benefits usually.
The Gen Z folks
usually will benefit Democratic candidates.
If we thought that millennials voting for Obama was a wave and that we were going to be a monolith moving in a particular direction at the time, that has turned out to be absolutely untrue. But the idea that these Gen Zs will tolerate anything that is anti-climate, anti-gay, or anti-LGBT in general, anti-woman or anti-healthcare, or pro-gun.
Yeah.
This is an entire generation of people where there are
not playing with you.
conservative Z's who are like, get these guns the fuck off our streets.
Yeah.
They're not playing with this shit. And when it comes to stuff with the climate,
no,
it's staring them in the face.
Yeah, like, because I can only
they want to live to be 40.
I can only imagine, like, the way I feel about the climate now, but feeling that in like a high school or like a middle school, even like
to this generation, the climate is what the Vietnam War was to the boomers. The boomers were voting against the war and mobilizing against the war because they feared that they were going to get drafted and killed. And the Z's are looking at the waves lapping up against, I don't know, West Virginia and going, shit, this is a problem. Tennessee shouldn't have a coast. Right?
Simple. Yeah. So I do think, though, this does set us up because, again, for the next 10 years, every voting cycle is going to give you that nasty feeling.
Because we're still so close to it.
Yeah. It's going to give you that nasty feeling like what's going to happen. I think, again, 2024 is going to be
I bought that bottle of champagne the Monday before. I should never have done that. I'm convinced that's it. That was Seth fucking Meyers.
Seth Meyers.
I blame him.
No,
it was the joke. He said Donald Trump is sitting at the Washington Post table, not the Fox table. And he said, which is funny because there's a fox sitting on Donald Trump's head.
That was a good one.
And then he said, if you're at the table and you don't finish your meal, don't worry. The fox will take care of it for you. And Trump looked at him on the stage and you could see that was the moment on his face. He was like, that's it. Gonna fuck up this whole country. That was it. Seth Meyers. Funny. Bad. Funny.
Yeah, very funny.
Okay. You want to do some quick results?
Let's do the quick results.
All right. Number one, top of the list, Lauren Boebert. Nobody saw this coming.
Not at all.
This is her at her thing with her soon-to-be ex-husband, I guess. I don't know. They're getting divorced. I don't know who that guy is. They're all excited. This is them a few hours later when it turns out they're losing. No, they're praying there. I know that's true. But, like, she's losing.
Right.
Which is really funny because she's losing by 69 votes.
Oh,
or she was earlier.
She was earlier, yes.
Oh,
yeah, she was. Unfortunately, I think she's maybe slightly able to get herself off the poll. The wrong poll.
Well, we know what she was gonna do if she lost.
Yeah, she was gonna go back into her adult entertainment stuff. You know, Black already got her exclusive contract, but she has a slight lead now.
What's the lead?
Let me give you the slight result. It's not 69, unfortunately.
No.
Ding ding.
Nice.
So she has, as of now, here we go.
Oh, Her Majesty's got the links to it.
Yeah.
She's been watching.
Yeah. She is up by by 0.4%.
Well, yeah, but how many people is that?
How many people?
This is marketplace. What is 0.4%? What are we talking about?
It's a Wawa trombone.
Right, exactly. Right.
I always make people do math. So it's about 1,100 votes.
She's up by 1,100 votes?
Yeah.
Man.
And there's 98% in. 98% in.
All right, so what we need to do is get Lindsey Graham to call Colorado. Be like, I need you to find 11,780 votes.
Simple.
All right, but if she loses, she doesn't have a husband to go back to. Her cafe, I believe, is out of business. So what's she gonna do?
I told you she got that porn career.
Go back to her porn career.
Yeah.
All right.
Make that money.
Let's get another celebration here. Maryland did something interesting.
The Free State.
The Free State elected the third Black governor in U.S. history.
I forgot.
More Cox.
More Cox. Our favorite. Shout out to the Coma Torch.
Wes Moore won by 22 percentage points. Holy shit.
What? Why would you even place that candidate against him?
Well, okay, don't be a Republican in Maryland, but
no,
also,
you can.
You
can. We saw it. We saw how you do it
because Democrats voted for Larry Hogan.
You're not the Cox.
No,
You can't be a Cox.
Oh,
You
I have a
Tacoma
sad
Torch
story.
has a few things too about that. That
Yeah.
it was a soft pullout for the Cox
Yeah.
campaign. They
I have a sad story.
Oh,
My
that's-
sister, she
yes.
voted, and she texted me of who she voted for governor, and she said, I voted for the white dude, and I'm like,
no.
what? I said, why?
Of course, your family
Why
did
did you do that? Yeah.
And I think it's like, wait,
Because the white guy on the network voted for the, your
So
sister.
yeah,
Does your
so, but-
sister know you're white?
yeah,
I didn't know she knew that.
but
I've seen her. She
Yeah.
probably doesn't know.
yeah, so I asked her, like, why do you do it? Because mainly she felt like, well, I don't want to vote for a black dude because he's just a black dude. And it's like, and
No.
Wait a minute. This is,
I look. All right.
this is fair in Maryland
Mhm.
because the last two
Yes,
black
fair.
guys who have been on a statewide ticket in Maryland,
Steele?
Rutherford and Steele, both
Still,
of which
yeah, I've been
as lieutenant governors
Right.
were Republicans.
fair, but
But also, let's say this: if you remember, who's right now the Attorney General for Maryland is Anthony
Frost.
Brown.
Oh yeah, Tony
Anthony
Brown is now.
Yeah, now. The last time
He just won.
because he was facing Hogan initially, the first round,
He lost to Hogan.
and lost. Main reason is like I didn't vote for him because he was an ass when he was running.
kind of a lousy congressman,
Right?
but he was, he's going to be a great AG.
Yeah, he'll be
he's
fine.
a good lawyer.
So I understand where my sister was coming from, but I had to inform her. It's like, the guy you voted for was a Trump dude, and it's like, oh my god.
see, I'll follow a follow-up story. I was voting in DC and the
is
person,
reading a thing.
but no, see, we have to, I don't know. I think we can say, hey,
Just look
it's
at the
on the
pictures.
election. But that's what it is. That's what's
Profile
happening, which is insane. You can ask the electorate, right, at a certain point to be informed, but when you strip away the local papers, things of that nature, how
local papers, it's the Washington fucking Post.
But that is that. But what that metro section is
it was on
not
the front page.
that
all the
metro
time.
section is not the same as even some of the other local
the metro section to cover Maryland. That's in the front
the
section.
the Sun,
Baltimore
right?
Sun.
Though there are other, but while we need to ask the electorate to do a little bit more,
A little Westmore.
a little Westmore, right? At a certain point, we need to find a way to engage people. I don't know where this is, but to give the information is I don't know because
But that to Brian's sister's point, this is this trick that the Republicans have recently latched onto. Is they find this token and they run them in majority black places or majority Dem places, hoping that people will look at the pictures of the candidates and vote accordingly.
I will give a follow-up to your story. The person I was next to in Trinidad in the polling station, I was sitting there and I was going through picking my people, and then
It's a white neighborhood now.
right. yes. On the gentleman next to me, he said, man, he's like, I wish they had more black sounding names. I don't, and I was like, and I looked over and I was like, word.
Penguin McDuffie's pretty black.
Right. And he asked that in sincerity.
Anita Bonds? I mean, come on.
But then the voting person looked at him, and the other black lady, she said, you ain't do no research.
Not
and
at
it
all.
was not at all. And I'm torn because I do think I think we have the most ill-informed electorate that we've ever had. We've ever had.
It's an absolute joke.
It's a joke at this point because these two stories here, I think, kind of illustrate not just these individuals, but everybody.
Speaking of dumb electorates, New Jersey, where
man.
Dr. Oz has to go back to because he lost.
Yeah.
He lost to the giant John Fetterman.
Hey.
This guy is not going to fit in the Capitol.
At all.
People are going to mistake him for one of the statues in Statuary Hall. He's so giant. He's a massive mountain of a man.
I can't wait for him to walk in that hoodie.
He's not. He can't. There's Senate rules. He has to wear a tie. He has a suit. You've seen him wear it.
I've seen him wear it.
But he's going to have to dress. But he's not going to fit at the desks.
Well, yeah, them desks are made for little people from the
18th century. He's never going to be able to. He'll be the whole cloakroom. People will walk into him thinking he's the cloakroom.
Yes.
He is a mountain of a man, and congratulations to him.
Yes, because wow.
Is he our first tatted senator?
No, people probably have that you can't see.
No, I don't mean like Harry Truman's Navy tattoos. Yeah. I mean that kind of tattoo.
Probably.
I think he is.
I would think so. look, strong campaign. Again,
I mean, Marsha Blackburn's got the tramp stamp.
Oh,
That
God.
nobody sees that.
Ran a candidate in a specific area that folks resonated with him. And again, his issues don't seem like what he stands on. I don't know. Like, people didn't care that they were putting that vote into the United States Senate. They believed in him.
But it's not just that they believe in Fetterman, but that Oz was such a garbage candidate.
Again, they ran a trash can.
He's running for Pat.
This should have been open and closed for Republicans.
Open and closed Republican. All I had to do was some sort of semi-moderate Republican. Toomey is was a moderate, very successful. Arlen Specter was their Republican senator who became a Democrat because the Republicans shifted so far on him. Arlen Specter was a right-wing crazy.
Yeah.
And then the party left him in the dust, and he was left sitting left the center going, I guess I'm a Democrat now.
That happened.
John Fetterman is in Arlen Specter's seat. How are the people?
Bad politics. Like, it's
bad. So fucking easy.
This is bad. Like, again, because you guys, the Republicans have deviated from a strategy that's worked for years. And
you know what? It's like those commercials where they're like, it's so easy. It's even easier than the choice. And they're like the kids at the basketball court and they're like, I'll take Barkley. Like, it's that easy. All they had to do was pick like average Joe that could just hold down a conversation and say, like, I want to lower taxes and support the military. And he would have won.
And the reason you don't run that person is because you say you need to run someone who's going to be in favor of Trump, who's going to support election. And then that has obviously backfired.
It is obviously backfired in literally every place except for J.D. Vance in Ohio, which I don't think is a function of Trump. I think is a function of that Ohio is full of assholes. And that's objectively true. Look at who they keep electing. So let's do like the devil and go down to Georgia.
No.
Georgia's in a runoff.
Do you know how insane this is that we have a runoff
between
in Georgia,
two black men?
Between two black. There are people from the like
people whose grandfathers fought in the Confederacy are still alive.
And they're probably like,
and they're voting for Herschel Walker. That is the truth.
That is insane.
Well,
that's like we're living in like it's not insane, but
we have two nominally black men running.
Yeah.
And one of them is named Uncle Ruckus. So like, let's not say that this is really what we're looking at. I don't think for a minute that Herschel Walker represents a black agenda.
But I think even a little more than that. I think you know that the runoff system is more so put in place to destroy like a black candidate in general.
It was specifically designed so white votes could coalesce.
But now you have it going like that is more for the mind fuck. That's the mind fuck for me. And I'm like, what? And if Raphael Warnock wins this, that is even crazier.
I kind of love that.
That is like you sit back and you think about that and you're like, wait,
didn't he win a runoff last time?
He did. It was Ossoff who won the runoff the last time. So, but like,
and then we broke the country.
But I'm hoping that Reverend Warnock wins again.
Yes.
Not because I need his vote in the Senate, but because I am proud that the Georgia Senate delegation is just chip chat. It's a copy of our show.
It is.
It's a black guy and a Jewish guy.
Yeah.
It's a copy of our show. We're funnier than they.
We're fun, and we didn't break democracy.
Yeah, it's true.
Because again, those two got that vote came in and everything went to hell.
All right, up to Wisconsin, the great state of Wisconsin. It's probably the only time I'll ever say those words.
You're right.
Wisconsin did a couple of interesting things. They reelected the boringest governor on the planet, Tony Evers.
Yes.
Who is the single greatest check against the destruction of women in Wisconsin. But also they voted differently for their Congress representatives, whatever they call it, their assembly. It's flipped. So there you go. Wisconsin, good for that.
I know. Here we go.
Head over to Michigan. Go Blue.
I know he was going to be excited for this one.
Governor.
They tried to kidnap her. They tried to take her out.
Is still governor. Governor Whitmer.
Another Cox loss.
Yes. No, it was Tudor Dixon. I thought it was who she was. Who's this Cox lady?
The graphics department messed me up.
The graphics department, another Cox loss.
Whatever. Tudor Dixon was like, you know that website Wish where you can buy things, but they're not quite the thing that you paid for.
You wish they were what you paid for.
She's like the Tudor Dixon version of Gretchen Whitmer because she looks a little older, but not quite. Yeah, well, Karen was taken.
Yeah.
So Interestingly, though, after swearing up and down that she wouldn't, she did in fact concede that she lost.
Some of these people don't want
to
that
Whitmer.
smoke. I think because it's a lot of folks were like, yeah, this is a little easier to just be like, nah, I'm good on this.
I think she realized like what not conceding meant, which is that she would have to spend the rest of her life fighting this dumb thing and could never get another job.
Some people don't want to deal with
I want to
that.
be able to have a career after this.
See what
or
happened to
whatever.
Giuliani and Sidney Powell?
Yeah. Did you see Giuliani's election night coverage?
No.
He had a whiteboard where he kept pointing at Georgia and calling it Wisconsin. Look.
Did
no
we
Tim
ask him,
Russer.
can he find Ukraine?
There's no Tim Russ. Yeah, well.
Go blue.
Probably the single greatest moment in NPR history.
Super. I remember where I was walking
yeah.
and listening to that.
Yeah.
I remember
where
I was
in my car. It's unbelievable. Okay, Michigan also was one of the states that defended women's right to choose in a ballot referendum.
Man,
there were a number of those.
story I was listening to about people leaving Ohio to go to Michigan, that shit fucked me out. So,
We'll take them. Like full disclosure, if you need to escape the tyranny that is Ohio and you need to come to Michigan, we will take you.
Yeah,
that
if you didn't hear the story, there are many folks that
especially
leaving.
if you're a really good receiver, or
transfer portal.
Yeah.
I'm talking about people who's
halfway
freaking,
decent
I'm
kicker.
talking about women being
Moody's
able
about to get drafted.
abortions. You're talking about
no, I'm talking about the same thing. How do you know they're not a good kicker?
Oh, that's true.
You're a woman needs an abortion. You got good hands. We'll take it. Ann Arbor needs them. God. What's your 40 time?
Your coach is going to be the next coach
he knows better.
The Indianapolis Colts.
He knows better. All right. We don't know what's going on.
I don't even want to talk about
Arizona.
Arizona. Just keep guarding.
Save that for later.
We'll talk about that in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it might be.
We might not know. Here's the latest. Well, this
are they
is
still protecting the
pretty much it's still slightly ahead. Also, well, there's more added votes here. So thanks to Her Highness, pretty much it's 50.5 now to 49.5. So and Hobbs in the lead. So
that's right.
So Hobbs still leading.
Look at his fist behind Blake there. That is just makes me uncomfortable. I'm sorry.
It's not just that Hobbs is winning, but like Kelly is thrashing Masters and Fincham is losing by like 40 points.
Yeah.
Like that's an utter rejection. Even all the Republicans in Arizona were like, this dude looks nuts. Like, look at the guy.
A little bit.
He was at January 6th and he was like, you know how much of a loser you got to be where like you can't find friends amongst your own cult when he was there at the Capitol and he's like, hey guys, and they're like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like
that's insane.
Yeah. Go get some waffles.
Everybody, you should be able to find friends there.
Yeah.
Isn't that the whole reason you guys did this?
To get
friends.
Yes.
I thought this was the whole purpose of it.
This is what happens when you take away MySpace. All right. And
that was a Fox News thing.
Florida, the great state of Florida, where current Governor DeSantis is going to stay governor. He won by more than 20 points.
Hey, friends, look here. Stop
beating fellow Republican Charlie
exactly.
Crist.
I get it. Like the Democrats are like, hey, we want to run specific people to try to. Hey, just put forth somebody who's and if they lose, they fucking lose. But don't be out here putting forward Republicans against.
I feel like Gillum was kind of that, and then it turned out that he wasn't. But like,
that was the closest
Florida
we got.
is gone. It is a Republican state.
Yeah, and I think
Texas, but with slightly more ocean.
I do think.
Speaking of Texas, if you saw this, here's
get gone to Texas.
Yeah, Beto got whooped. Greg Abbott, interestingly, was able to get on stage. They had a lift. couldn't step up to the podium to take his victory lap.
Man,
didn't take a victory lap. Just sort of rolled through it.
Them. Can we start telling a different story about the white Cubans in Florida? I'm sorry.
I wanted to ask you about this.
And the Hispanic vote in general.
Hispanic vote.
Yeah, like what are they doing?
It's not a thing because white Cubans are not Hispanic. It's not the same as Mexican immigrants. Or Afro-Cuban. This becomes a race line, and white people are only just finding out that there's racism in Spanish-speaking communities. Just because they have a common language doesn't mean these are the same people. And the Blanquitos are not fans of the Negritos. Listen to Spanish radio Don't listen to Spanish
yeah,
radio.
exactly.
It is racist.
Yeah,
as
I was gonna
fuck.
say you wanted to talk about conspiracy theories and racist shit going on, and it all skates underneath the FCC.
Go watch a
'cause
single
out here-
soccer game in Spanish.
Yes,
and listen to
throwing
how they talk
bananas,
about the. Not just that. Listen to how the literal announcers talk about the players.
You are yes.
Listen to what they call the American team. What do
Yeah.
they call us?
Yeah.
Los gringos.
Yes.
Yes, los gringos. Half the team's not gringo,
Gross.
and also that's racist, assholes. It's not like lo gringo versus lo come tacos. Like, we're not calling you like the things.
Hey,
that's
look.
racist too.
Republican Party was good on that one. They said, "Hey, wet foot, dry foot."
Speaking of breaking news,
Yeah, breaking news.
Out of
Speaking of
Florida.
racist, yes.
speaking of racists from Florida.
yes,
Oh.
we have.
A new one or an old one? An
Yeah,
old one?
well, pretty much
Well, he's old. He's 70 something.
Yeah.
Ah, that one.
So, former 45.
The Central Park.
He has the comments about the
He put out a
re-election of
statement
DeSantis.
tonight. Now, it was a written statement, but we actually got the dictation that Dan the Twitter man used to write down what is the now written
We're
statement.
breaking a lot of news tonight.
So,
it's a lot.
you know,
News!
without delay. News. Brian, hit the tape. That
Hold on,
is
no.
an actual statement
yes,
that was released
that's a real statement.
by a guy who does still think he's president, maybe, I'm not sure, that's a real statement, then that is as written or as dictated. I mean, I don't know how we got our hands on that tape, by the way. Way to go, Brian.
Straight from the desolate desk.
Brian's an unbelievable producer.
That is, yes.
I don't know where he pulls this stuff out of, but maybe Lauren Boebert. No, he wishes. All right. Anyway, that's the election coverage. You want to? Yeah. You want to take a break?
Show me your tits.
Don't say that to Her Majesty.
No,
We're about to talk to an actual royal person.
That was a non sequitur at all.
I got it. All right.
Here's what the bell says, Fred.
That's what the bell says. Here's what we're going to do.
I'm going to read off all the bells tonight.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk to somebody who actually has leadership experience running an entire country, maybe an empire. I'm not even totally sure what the governing structure is.
Be quiet.
We're going to find out.
Make
Yeah.
sure
Whatever you do, don't tell her that she's on this show. We'll be right back. You're listening to Chip Chat on RIP Radio Network.
Swips.
All right, welcome back to Chip Chat here on RIP Radio Network. I'm your host, Chip. With me is Tez.
What's Bobby?
And that was friend of the show, Priest to Nomad. His new record
Shout out to Priest.
is out. It's called Receipts. He was on here talking about it a little while ago. He's going to be back on our air in December.
Dope. Okay, awesome.
So the record came out just this week. I got my hands on
a physical copy. Children out there, that's a CD.
It's a record.
No.
It's round and it plays music.
No, don't do that. That's disrespectful to the actual record.
That's true.
Don't do that.
I mean, he has vinyl on the Bandcamp, but I was like, how am I going to play that here?
That's
we don't have a turntable. But anyway, okay, so go get the record. Go to Bandcamp.
Yes.
You can get the record. Priest to
Shout out
Nomad.
to Priest.
Dynamite. We're going to be playing tracks from it all night, and we're going to have him on coming up. Okay.
Let's go.
Cycoldia is a nation surrounded on all sides by Houston, which I think is a city in the United States somehow for now. It's currently operating as a constitutional monarchy presided over by Her Imperial Majesty Christina the First and Second. Her Majesty founded the nation in 2018, and through several coup attempts and challenges has managed to stay in power.
All right, there we go. Fighter, we like.
We here at Chip Chat are looking for other governance options, so we're pleased to welcome her here. Your Majesty, welcome to Chip Chat.
Hi.
Well,
so we have like a million questions.
Yes, a lot.
But very first, What is a micronation?
So a micronation is a self-declared independent state that is not universally recognized by other countries that are specifically UN recognized. For example, Cycoldia is not recognized by the United States.
Okay, but you do exist.
Yes.
This reminds, I know it's not really like an okay joke, but there's this in Good Morning Vietnam. One of the million jokes that Robin Williams is making, and I'm pretty sure making it up as he's doing this for the movie. He's like, England recognized Singapore today. How do you recognize a country? Didn't I meet you at the Feynman bar mitzvah? Like, just recognize a country. It's a great joke, though. All right. So you created your micronation in 2018. Why did you decide to do this?
So actually, ironically, this being election season will have a lot to do with it because our Independence Day is November 6th, which is the day that Greg Abbott won in Texas. So that was our reason.
Good reason.
I feel like you stepped up to that one. Unlike Greg Abbott.
Look, yo.
What?
It's just American disability, man.
You can't get here. We've been over this. Our elevator doesn't work in this building. We're safe. Sorry, Your Majesty. We don't mean to disparage the disabled. It's just that Greg Abbott is one of the worst people on the planet, and so therefore it's okay to pick on him. We want to be clear about that.
No, I understand.
We appreciate that.
I've written denouncements of him like 3 times.
So you founded Cycoldia in response to Greg Abbott's re-election in 2018.
Yes.
It seems like as reasonable as anything else.
That's it. See, this is the response that you need to have when.
What are we doing a fake radio show? We could have a fake country.
This is what we.
Not that you have a fake country.
Hey, look, watch it, friend.
No.
Watch it, friend.
Don't declare war on us. Yeah, I know. You've got a whole outfit.
Look at us.
We have a bell.
That's fine. Yeah. We have many bells, actually.
We've got gear. Brian, show her the white lady in the apron. We're a real country, too.
Do we still have that graphic?
Yeah, I don't know. Brian's got all that.
We haven't shielded merch in a long time.
All right. So how does living in a micronation impact your daily life? Do you travel outside of it? What's the basic operation for the non-royal citizens within Cycoldia? How does this even work?
Well, those are a lot of different questions, very, very separate from each other. For example, I go to school slightly outside of the claims of Cycoldia, but there's a lot of citizens in Cycoldia that are obviously not part of the royal, because we have, within the Imperium, we have over 400 citizens. So there's obviously going to be a lot of varied opinions as well there. And so we do have voting, we have election systems, and actually we recently held the, I believe it was the September Assembly was formed, which is when one of our election cycles goes, and it secured another majority for the monarchist party, but it changed our prime minister. So we have actually...
Yeah. Did you also end up with the lettuce? What?
No, we did not end up with the lettuce.
Oh,
the lettuce, in fact, our prime minister outlasted Liz Truss, our last one, so we got it.
Cool with me.
Do you tolerate dissent within the Imperium?
Yes, we have several opposition parties. If you go to our official website, we have a full opposition party of the Unitary Party, as well as the Liberal Party and the Democratic Party.
This is much better run than our country.
Well, yeah, they have multiple parties.
Can we become citizens of Cycoldia?
You actually can. You can apply online if you go to www.cycoldia.com.
We should do that. Well, hold on.
We also currently are doing a big push towards getting more citizens of the United Kingdom of Creek and Lake, which is one of the members of the Imperium. So it gives you Imperial citizenship to Cycoldia and UKCL citizenship.
That makes sense. So it's sort of like how Curacao is part of the Netherlands or whatever.
Makes sense there. Your Majesty, can you tell me about the flag? I just saw the flag here.
Yes, it's a cool flag.
It is a cool flag.
There's a lot of symbolism in it. The canton, which is the little box in the corner, is merging together because we used to have two separate Capitol buildings, and it shows the kind of blending between them. As well, all the bars represent notable and important factors to the independence of Cycoldia.
I was thinking they were going to represent the bars inside of the.
Yeah, wait. Is drinking legal in Cycoldia?
We have the American Foundations Enforcement Act, which means that we follow U.S. law under that specific one, because there are only specific circumstances in which we do not follow U.S. law. Although, circa the Protection of Human Rights Act, we do not enforce the laws of the state of Texas.
That makes sense, right? Because they're in violation of
all human rights.
So you don't have any cages for your children? Where do you keep them?
Nice
normally in houses.
Yeah, I was going to say, right?
I mean, I don't know. I'm American. You're British.
Not anymore. Well, yes, I am. Sorry about that. Yeah, I still am.
So a lot of I'm going to call it micro community. Is that the right word? What's the word for
the full community at large? We would normally call it the micronational community.
The micronational community. Okay. So a lot of what the micronational community seems to do is recognize each other and establish relations, and occasionally they go to war. Are these real wars? Is it more like a board game or whatever? And do you plan to declare war on Russia?
No, I do not plan to declare war on Russia at any time soon.
Smart.
We also currently, I've endorsed the one organization against micronational war, because we've recognized that in many cases micronational war is entirely useless. There are very few instances in which it's at all even in person, like the people even see each other in a lot of cases. So it's pretty useless to be endorsing micronational war in any way.
I know that Rafania and West Arctica are currently at war. I haven't figured out what about, although I think there was some argument over somebody called Travis. And
it's always a Travis.
Yeah, Travises are dangerous. But
I actually have awards from both of those.
You've won awards from both the warring country. You could win the micro Nobel Prize,
right?
If you can broker peace.
Well, currently I'm making sure to not comment on it too much. Although I do recognize West Arctica's control over Cal-Sahara, which is what the main thing was caused by, and I know of some things that are planned.
Is how close is Cal-Sahara to Slowjamistan?
I have frankly no clue on the relation to Slowjamistan.
Okay.
I've met them a few times.
Slowjamistan is a great country. I've read all of their stuff. They have this big thing about if you're in the left lane, you better be passing. Doesn't matter how fast you're going.
Yeah.
You
can't be mad at that.
Yeah, very, very much.
I did meet their Sultan before, and I did get to yell at one of their security people.
Yeah, and they've got a payphone. That's one of their things.
Yeah,
so that's cool. Do you have a payphone?
The security guy was. We do not have a payphone that is government issued, but we do have phone numbers because you gotta have a phone.
Of course. Do you have currency, and why is it not pink?
Oh, cheap shot.
What?
That currency's already failing.
No pink money. Pink money doesn't work. Especially if it's got
currently there's actually proposals in the General Assembly to establish a currency specifically for government bonds, because the government of Cycoldia is in a tough financial situation right now. Not me. I'm doing great. The government is the one that's having issues.
Listen, as a monarch, if you're not stealing money from your people, what are you really doing?
Come on now.
Come on.
I did not steal money from the people. The government just continuously loaned money from me. And then forgot to repay it.
But hey, look, people make mistakes.
You go on your computer, you type in
numbers.
Jerome Powell, you type it in, you make money shows up in the account.
It's all you got to do is punch in your username, and I assume password is your password.
Fed Reserve.
Okay, before we get too far down the rest
Federal
of
Reserve Commissioner.
You're right. How did you get to be both the first and the second?
This Chip has had this question, Your Majesty.
I heard it earlier. Because I was watching before I popped on. But I'm the first in Cycoldia, Lur, and many other ones. But in the UKCL, which is one member of the Cycoldian Imperium, I'm the second, and therefore overall I'm Christina the first and second.
Makes sense.
Gotcha. Okay, so all right,
that makes sense.
I mean, you're from a place with heraldry and all this stuff. I'm not like conditioned to that, but I understand that you might hold separate multiple titles.
Right?
So you hold two titles as Christina the First and Christina the Second in two different pieces.
Kind of like how there was James the sixth and first of England and Scotland.
That makes there you go. That's exactly it. That's exactly it right there.
I can do that math. Got it.
What's the story of the nation, right? Because
you have like a founding story.
Because nations aren't like we say it's the nation, but that's not a real thing.
When did you get rid of your 3/5 compromise?
Stop this.
All countries don't have that.
This started with America, but yeah, the story.
We didn't have to go through that. Shockingly, we didn't actually have to go through that phase. We have anti-discrimination ordinances in the Constitution, so
was founded on Abbott winning. So I would assume the
I don't know. I read an article describing the economy as like over dominant, ever powerful, or whatever, and that the leader is a psychopath, but not a sociopath, and there's some sort of difference there.
Yeah.
So I'm fitting right in, but
right. Yeah, what's the story?
Okay, what is the origin? Besides just like in we all have like vomit-induced reactions to Greg Abbott, right? You see Greg Abbott rolling by, you go, ugh. And like that's you know the story about where the tree fell on him and stuff.
Yeah,
there's also some story about him like with Perry like out jogging and shooting at coyotes in his jogging shorts.
God, he
was like one Plaxico Burress away from being Greg Abbott. Just saying, just a step away. Yeah. All right, so stop.
Yeah, I said it.
I'm sorry, Your Majesty. What is the origin story of Cycoldia? And do you have like national stories? Myths
the folklore of like what are we gonna like? Yeah,
again, like stuff.
40 years from now, 100 years from now, when you tell the story.
Well, most of our kind of, I guess you could say, like the origins of one of the main things that happened at the beginning is that almost immediately into Foundation, the chief of the armed forces tried to execute a coup, like nearly instantly. Which was found out very easily because he was writing up his thing to do it directly in front of me. Which wasn't the smartest idea that I think I've ever seen.
Or something like, how did you put down the coup?
Who writes a manifesto in front of people?
I mean, are you ruthless or?
I just walked over to him and I was just like, "Yeah, you're demoted."
Hey,
look, I wish every coup could go that easy. Yeah.
Bloodless attempted coup.
Yeah.
Don't be like KFC in Germany, by the way. Rough day for them yesterday.
Well, the thing is that didn't stop him. Actually, the story. There's more to the story, in fact, because after he was demoted to being a recruit, he was trying again, and so we then formally, our court charged him with high treason, of which then he gained citizenship to a different migration, and we had to go around to 3 different ones to assure that he had no possible dodging extradition, and we tried him and ordered a 3-year exile at the time, of which then he was immediately transferred to their courts, who then gave the same sentence.
This is like complicated, dangerous stuff.
Yeah, but I mean,
he was doing it right in front of you. Like, I mean,
sounds like they got off easy. They didn't go to the guillotine or anything like that.
Where's the Cycoldian Guantanamo? I mean,
classified information.
Can we be the ministers in charge of Cycoldia and Guantanamo?
No, you're
This is going to be the corner of the studio over there.
We got
Go sit in the corner. Works on my kids.
Chip has dictator tendencies, so be careful.
We're going to get to that.
Be careful.
Benevolent dictator.
I don't like
Her
that.
Majesty clearly has this figured out. She's
Yes.
presiding over a monarchy with like dissent and opposition parties, and like by all accounts treating her hundreds of citizens well.
I trust her with it. I don't trust you with it.
She's only survived one coup attempt. Well, how many coup attempts have there been?
There have been 5 civil wars.
Oh shit. Okay, never mind.
We getting
I beat 4 of them.
Yeah.
I beat 4 of them, and I only lost the 5th
I
one.
would just leave.
Yeah.
They all happened. To be fair, they did all happen in very rapid succession, and I beat 4 out of 5.
You beat. Wait. Hold on.
That's
Math.
I
You beat
missed
4
one.
out of 5. You lost one of your civil wars.
Yes, and I was then forced to agree to a constitution.
oh wow.
Okay, so these civil wars were fought how? Like a chess game, or like you beat
We would before any of it occurred with any fighting, we would agree to the terms of what we would agree to be any kind of circumstance of a battle. So we would agree to what terms, and we would then agree to hold the battle, and whoever won, and we held it in that manner.
Damn,
So-
we still having wars like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
That's
you know,
old, yeah.
remember the Hamilton song about
Yeah.
how to have a duel?
Yeah.
You know, first you got a doctor,
Yeah.
and then you pay him not to look and, you know,
Yeah.
count the things and all that.
It was civil and civil.
So,
That's good.
wait, give me an example. You got a bell for that one.
Yeah.
Way to go, Your Majesty. Can you give us an example of how one of these civil wars was fought?
At one of the times we agreed to hold an airsoft competition.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I love the airsoft guns.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
What about all right, how do you feel about Nerf guns? Because that's where I'm great. It's like I've got 40 years of experience.
I wouldn't do that for any kind of thing, but I do enjoy Nerf guns. I have quite a collection.
See?
Yeah,
I knew we
this
were
is-
on, you know. Your Majesty, how do you feel about doing fake radio?
Well, one of the first micronations on Earth was founded by a pirate radio station. So
That's true. It's like an
Oh.
oil platform off the coast someplace, and the guy was like, "Yeah, it's
Sealand.
gonna be a country now." What was it
Good
called?
starting point.
Sealand.
Yeah, Sealand. There you go.
Sealand.
It's like, there's a new one too.
Huh?
Jacinda Ardern's the prime minister of it. It's called New Zealand. I'm not making that up. That's what it's Dutch.
Also, at the beginning of it, I heard you guys talking about if you had flags. I have a very different one though.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, we know about flags. If you don't have a flag, you don't have a country.
That's part of telling the story.
That's the
I have
Yeah.
a few flags here.
no flag, no country.
See, what I like about that flag is that's what the atmosphere is going to look like when we put
That's
sulfur
true.
up there.
I was looking at Mars last night, and it was a nice.
Yeah, we're
clear
just preparing for the future.
Yeah, right. You're already there. That's just that's what it look like when the sun shines through
So
sulfur.
wait a
Yeah,
minute.
this is how the sky will look if Greg Abbott wins.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yes.
We know.
Yeah.
So now that you showed us the flags, you actually raised an important question. Have you colonized anything? Like gone around, plant your flag, and like claim some stuff?
Well, one could use the term colonized for the Cycoldian Imperium because we do actually use the term colonial whenever we refer to that, although we are not like the idea of like the imperialist colonizers going and stabbing their flag into somewhere they just found.
With someone.
It's not that kind of colonial. It's more the kind of modern day Commonwealth.
So let's say we established our own micronation or state, let's say, and we wanted to be.
Chipchandia.
Well, we have a list.
We have a list. Yeah,
We're
that's
going to
mine.
get to the list. But like we wanted to be annexed by Cycoldia. We could call you up and say, Your Majesty, would you please annex our colony? And
You
then
hold an election. That's
So,
and then we go ahead and do it.
There
so
would be-
we
a
don't.
referendum, and then we would retreat out of Kherson, and it'd all be
you
fine.
know, Iranian drones. You know.
Yeah, it's great.
So we don't currently actually do formal annexations anymore into the Grand Republic, but we do accept members into the Imperium. which as defined by Imperial Order 2.7, would just require that I be crowned the monarch of the area for partial membership and the appointment of a colonial governor.
So like a regent or something.
The colonial governor, by the way, there's two different types of membership. There's partial membership, in which it is solely advisory, where I wouldn't really have any power over the government there, and the colonial governor would simply bring advice from the crown. And the second one is very much where it is much more direct rule from Imperton kind of thing, where the colonial governor has the broad powers to dismiss any member of the government of the member.
This is very much the Commonwealth.
Yeah, right. Imperial orders always get me scared. They remind me of Senator Palpatine.
Well, so now, that gets me to my next question. Are your stormtroopers lousy shots?
Yeah,
Because I think that's a rule.
that order, isn't that the order that killed the Jedi?
Any empire has a terrible...
No, that's Order 66.
Broadside of a Death Star. All right, so can your army shoot, or are they lousy?
They're in Texas. I would hope so.
Yeah,
Well, currently under the Chief Marshal, the Earl of Winwood, he's been doing quite well at the job, I believe, of being the proper Chief Marshal.
So they're all right. They're aces. How do you fare against Ewoks? Real question. You never know. It is Texas. All right, never mind. Let's get on to the next thing. All right. So we do have some real questions, though. One of the things is that
what we've been asking.
I've been studying jokes. I've been studying this community sort of from a distance, and it seems like a pretty interesting community. Do we have any idea how many micronations there are and how many people are citizens of all of these, like in a total?
Anytime somebody asks me that, I tell them to write down the number 8 on a sheet of paper and turn to the side, and that's the number.
Oh, yeah, multiple.
We were learning about that today. There's different sizes of infinities. That's a whole other show.
So, that no one wants to hear.
So
I was interested in it.
So this is a question which I think, based on our discussions offline and the fact that you founded this nation in reaction to Greg Abbott existing, but would you say that in general, micronations tend to skew left or right in the way that we as Americans, not Cycoldians, would understand it? And it seems kind of like the sovereign citizen thing, but it's not the sovereign citizen thing at all. So I got a question about that. I was like, hey, we want to try to start a country. We need a website. And the guy was like, look, I built websites for some of these sovereign citizen guys. I don't want to do that anymore. And I was like, no, it's not
Sound
that.
like he was trapped. I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah, I was like, no, it's not that.
I needed the paycheck, but not anymore.
So we're going to guess by the flag that you waved prior to your national flag that you would sort of mostly skew left in addition to hating Greg Abbott. But as a whole, would you say like the communities? I can't figure this out. I can't figure out whether the community is sort of like a bunch of right wing.
There's a lot of different sections of the community. There's a lot of different sections of it. You can go to some of the Vishwamitra is one micronation that I personally don't recognize. So anytime you hear me refer to it, I will say the supposed state of. They currently have homophobes and transphobes in their government. They let a Nazi off, according to the Conference of Santiago, which they were expelled from. They, in a way, with that, violated the Cloud Protocol, which is an anti-discrimination agreement they had signed previously. And there's a lot of different micronations that will skew right, but there's also a decent amount that will skew left, and there's some in the middle. I would say there's some of yours that will go as mine, where it is more going together to fight for a cause like human rights, and then there's other ones that will go because they think that Trump is God. So,
oh shit! Well, why don't they just join Greater Idaho or whatever they're trying to make?
Or Jerry Falwell Jr. and his wife.
Yeah. Well, that's only a big thing now because of the Netflix. We covered that years ago.
They can go over and join the Kingdom of Canada.
Yeah, right. So, all right. I mean,
Cruise land.
He's yours. You don't get out of that one. All right, you put Dan Snyder on me, you get Ted Cruz. That's the rules.
That sucks.
So we're about to get McConaughey's going to own the team. Him with Bezos and Jay-Z.
Yeah, look,
What a deal.
good old Benetton ad.
Hey, well, I'll take it as long as it's not Danny.
Yeah, it's
Is there football in Cycoldia?
So we use British English, so I would only assume you're referring to soccer, which we do have.
Well, okay, great question. Why is Everton the best team and why does Arsenal suck?
I actually have an Everton jersey upstairs, so I agree with you.
Oh,
Upstairs?
God gracious. Match is made in heaven here.
Your Majesty.
Yeah, look, he's ready to leave. He's ready. Look at this. The joyous.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, he's ready to leave the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Well, no, join.
Well, leave, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to bring the Commonwealth with me.
That's true.
I fly an Everton flag out front of my house, which is true because my neighbor across the street is one of those dirty Liverpool guys.
Aren't you guys
Yeah, I have one of the old jerseys for Lukaku.
Did you hear what he just said? Brian,
No, it lagged.
You check the transcript. I'm going to say it. I said, I fly an Everton flag out front of my house, mostly because my neighbor across the street was one of those dirty Liverpool guys. And he said,
aren't you guys the same?
He said, aren't you guys the same?
just like
Wars have started over life.
I know. Look.
Actually, there was one time a war caused over football. In Central America, El Salvador and Honduras did declare war on each other over a game of football.
Yes. It was the last time a F-4U Corsair was used in combat. By the way, it's my favorite airplane. I happen to know this random weird fact.
Say, look at you. I was like, you jumped out there in front of that one.
Yeah, the Hondurans were flying Corsairs, and the Salvadorians were flying P-51 Mustangs. So it was this weird situation where two American World War II fighters duked it out over the skies of Central America in the 80s or something like that.
So fitting.
I know. It's
very
nuts.
fitting.
So
very
weird.
fitting of
my favorite possible conversation.
There you go.
Okay.
Interference.
I'm getting a PK for that one. All right. So if we form a micronation, which we're definitely about to do, would you please be the first of the micronations to recognize us?
So that would be a question for my Foreign and Colonial Office.
Okay. Is there a form or something we got to set? This
I hope
nerd's
it's
good
digital.
at forms and books and things.
Yeah, digital.
He knows how to read.
There is an email for the Foreign and Colonial Office, which is the Foreign Office Cycoldia@gmail.com.
There you go. All right, get on there.
All right, we got it. We know where to send the paperwork.
Okay, so one of the things that we do on this show usually is that we have our guests play this game called Florida or Nah.
I kind of have an advantage here.
No. Well, let's try this again. It's called Florida or Nah.
Florida or not.
There you go.
Yeah, I have a bit of an advantage in this game, I think, because half my family lives in Florida. So
No. A lot of people think they've got advantages. Sometimes people are in Florida and lose this game.
Lose this game. But now you okay? So you think you'll win? Well, we're ready.
Okay. So the basic idea of this is we're going to read you a news story with the locational details removed, and you have to determine if this happened in Florida or not in Florida. Seems easy. Got a 50-50 chance.
And we stopped giving pictures because we used to give out the pictures, but that was giving it away.
Pictures. Brian might have some of the pictures. People have deduced
one
things.
here, I'm ready to flip.
Are you gonna? All right. So pay close attention, Your Majesty.
I've read the story, so I cannot play today.
You can't get involved. This is really something. All right. Mary Kay Brown. That's already a good start. Look at her. Had plans for a dying man's foot, according to a recently filed affidavit. As the registered nurse, heavy on the registered nurse, amputated her patient's right foot on the afternoon of 27 May, she told colleagues that her family owned a taxidermy shop, said the affidavit. Her coworkers recall her saying that she was planning to take the 62-year-old patient's foot from the nursing home and display it at the shop. According to them, she said she wanted to put a sign next to it that said, quote, "Wear your boots, kids." Brown, 38, was charged Thursday with 2 felonies, mayhem and intentionally causing great bodily harm to an elderly person. Pause. Mayhem is a felony. Don't tell Allstate or whatever.
I thought it was a commercial. That's what I thought. I was like, wait.
That's starting to make me think it wouldn't be Florida, because I feel like mayhem would just be commended by the government there.
Well, yeah, mayhem is just
Tuesday.
Called, Ron DeSantis. All right. The district attorney has enhanced the possible punishment for each charge by up to 6 years because she's accused of victimizing someone over 60. Brown, who declined to talk about the accusations against her when reached by the newspaper on Monday, faces up to 92 years in prison if convicted. Court records do not list an attorney for her. Kevin Larson, administrator and chief executive of the Health and Rehabilitation Center where she was working, said in a statement that he and his staff, quote, will continue to fully cooperate with the investigation into this
I would
matter.
hope so.
Yeah. The person identified is not employed in our community anymore, he said. The 62-year-old man wound up at the facility, according to the district attorney. Her name is Haley Hatch. Great name, Haley Hatch.
Double H, not Triple H.
Wrote in the affidavit, well, you never know what her middle name is. Haley Hatch. I don't know. He had fallen at his home, and when the heat was on, suffered severe. The heat went out. I'm sorry.
Oh.
The heat went out, suffered severe frostbite on his feet. Several nursing home employees described his feet as, quote, black like a mummy.
Oh.
The man's ill health extended beyond
That can't be Florida.
In the weeks, that might be a clue.
Yeah. When you said that, I was like, you ruined this.
In the weeks leading up to May 20th.
You said frostbite. Nah.
There's frostbite in Florida.
No. This is what you already good. Why are you still reading?
It's really gruesome. It goes on forever. It's 2 pages. All right. Anyway, she took it home. She put it by a sign that said, "Wear your boots, kids." Where did this happen, Your Majesty?
That's not in Florida. That's frostbite. That's impossible.
Yeah, that's not the game where it happened.
No. Is it in Florida or not in Florida?
That's the game.
It's not in Florida. It's not in Florida.
Simple and play that. Yeah, exactly.
It's not in Florida.
It's not in Florida.
It was in Spring Valley, Wisconsin.
Nah.
Yeah, that sounds like frostbite. Sounds more like Wisconsin. Yeah.
I was like, you have to omit frostbite.
I didn't think about that. I was looking for place names. As I'm like,
you said frostbite, I instantly went, that's impossible in Florida. I've been there. No.
I mean,
but once we put the sulfur in the sky, though, you never know.
Yeah, it's true.
Once we destroy Earth, then maybe.
Yeah, exactly. We're close.
To be clear, we're not destroying Earth. Earth is going to be fine.
It's going to always be here.
It's us that's going to be in trouble. Just,
Well, not if considering that we have nuclear bombs, we could go out with a bang.
Yes.
Well, we could make it uninhabitable for lots of things.
Eventually, this thing's going to kick back.
It's going to kick back.
Here. Yeah.
No. We have enough bombs that we could probably hit the core. We have enough. We could try.
I don't know about that.
No, that one thing that destroyed the dinosaurs was supposed to be. I think that's like every one of our bombs.
Yeah.
And that just put a dent inside the
we all came together as the world to just try to destroy everything. I think we could try.
You know who could do it?
I'm not going to bet against humans, though.
Greg Abbott could do it.
No.
Yeah, right up and push the button.
He's already on the way.
Yeah. Texas is great at
You
destroying
roll
stuff.
all over him every freaking
day. I do. Look at
every
that.
day. Damn,
Well, he's just a sitting duck.
Oh, God.
It's not like he's going to move out of the way. Look. You know that great Aerosmith Run DMC song?
Yeah.
Walk This Way?
No.
He doesn't know that song.
He's riding spinners.
Now, see? And in Houston, no less.
Drive slow, homie.
Couldn't be. Get the mixtape.
Oh, God.
He has to rewind it himself. Okay.
Oh, God.
Anyway, sorry, Your Majesty.
Why should I let you do
we
this?
do want to ask people. We want you to tell people once again, how can they get in touch? How can they apply for citizenship? How can they, be involved? I mean, we're gonna do it. We're definitely gonna get involved. Where can everybody follow you and follow the country and follow all your pronouncements and things?
So ways to find where we are is we're on yeah, you just showed it on the screen.
Oh,
We're
man.
on
It's a radio
Cycoldia.com. All that. Yeah, I can see it on the screen that I'm looking at. Cycoldia.com. Make sure to put www in front of it, or else it will try to say that we are a virus for some reason. And if you put
Okay.
www, it realizes we're not. I don't know. And then just Cycoldia everywhere else. If you want to find me on Twitter, I'm Cycoldia until I eventually get blocked for disliking Elon Musk.
Hey, look, the hellscape is here.
We have
It's
have
always
whole
been here.
episodes talking about Twitter, and we're probably going to have to talk about it more.
Yeah, I mean, or less.
He's also sending astronauts to the space station. Like, he's doing great stuff also.
Not he's doing it.
He wasn't the guy who founded SpaceX. He didn't found SpaceX. He stole it.
Like, you know,
This is going to be
He hasn't invented a single thing in his life.
The legacy he wants is this will dent it.
my kids are big David Bowie fans, and specifically my middle one. And the idea that he shot a convertible into space playing Ziggy Stardust resonates well in our family. I'm not saying this white supremacist Afrikaner like gets off for anything.
Yeah.
He's a dangerous person.
Yeah, him and his
Nobody
dad.
played Ziggy Stardust on the Tesla.
He played Ziggy Stardust on the Tesla. So, you know, I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad my wife didn't let me get a Tesla now.
Yeah.
Not only would I have 1 billion tickets, but like now I would have had to been, I don't know.
To be fair, getting a Tesla, at least at the beginning of whenever it was the main electric car, was a good thing because it's helping the environment. But the negative now is that there's better electric cars in the market, and so getting one now is worse. It's why, for example, some of my family members have Teslas because they got it at the beginning whenever it was the main electric car, which
I was all in favor of it. I was like, look, I'm going to get this car. It's good for the environment, and I can go 200 miles an hour from my driveway to the end of the cul-de-sac. And my wife was like, the police already have your name because you drag them on Twitter constantly.
Yeah, you're
Oh yeah, you mentioned the top so many times on Twitter.
Well, no, I used to drag my local police department on Twitter because I think their radar guns only work on nice days. They don't enforce.
I did it. I sent them a tweet to my local HPD. I'm asking them if it was a crime to stop directly in the middle of one of those turning sections. And whenever they said I responded with a picture of their cops stopped in the middle of a turning section chatting with each other.
Right. Yeah. No, I do stuff like that constantly, and then my Twitter handle got obliterated by Ted Cruz. Don't worry, Elon's going to give it back.
Oh yeah, you got to pay $8 and you're good.
Yeah,
you'll have a check too.
$8.
You'll have a check as well too.
Yeah.
Look,
I also will say, Ted Cruz's new fit with the beard, it's not going well. It's grim. It's his Cancun cut.
He looks awful.
Yeah,
I
think I see it.
He's trying.
Yeah, he's trying, but it's not. It's more. It's a little scruffy.
It's that Calgary.
It's not a good trim.
Not at all.
I don't know how is it like. I have a beard mostly out of laziness.
Same.
And like he somehow makes it look awful. Like I know I don't look great. That's why I do
First
radio.
of all, if I was in the Senate, my beard would always be on point. It doesn't matter. I'm in the bloody
you have
Senate.
A barber right there.
Yeah.
Have you been? You know, there's 2 barbershops in the Capitol.
There. Yeah.
They're at either end of the tunnels.
There's never going to be a time I walk onto the floor
that
my beard is not going to be crispy.
You from the House office or the Senate office buildings to the Capitol. There's a barbershop at the base of it. Like you can't go out there looking less than excellent.
Well, now he can't get to it because during Jan 6 he must have been attacked by it, and he's refusing to say that it happened. So he can't ever go back there now.
Gary Loudermilk was leading tours of the barbershop. He's like, here, this is how you can get in. You know who's not going to lead tours there anymore? Bober.
They ran up in the Capitol like they lost by a razor thin margin.
Hopefully it's very close on that one. I'm going to check the results right now.
Brian thinks that Bober might be winning. I don't know. Whatever. Okay.
Bober currently it's 50.182, 49.82 with Bobert up.
You know her favorite percentage?
Yeah.
69. All those videos don't lie. Right? Whatever. All right.
So shall it be written, so shall it be done.
All right, Your Majesty, we have to go with the third half of the show, and we assume that it's a school night, and you've got important things to do. Well, it's Veterans Day tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys recognize Veterans Day?
I was assuming
yeah, we recognize Veterans Day.
wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Well,
a lot of
I mean,
wars.
it's an American holiday.
We specifically
You watch soccer. They got the damn poppy on
It's
there.
a
for
bullet
a whole
hole
month.
this year.
Yeah.
Looks like a bloody bullet hole. I was watching. I was like,
Yeah, it's a
why
bad-
is
the thing is that we recognize it. We recognize it as Armistice Day.
Armistice Day. It's also my grandmother's birthday.
better?
They stopped the war on her like third birthday or whatever. Like, hey, it's birthday 3. No more war. Call it off, everybody.
Everybody.
They had that Christmas soccer game, and they're like, all right, that was cool.
Yeah,
Back
Christmas
to war.
truce.
Yeah, but they played soccer.
Yeah.
It was because Germany and England.
Yeah.
It was the first time Germany beat England. It wouldn't be the.
Yeah. Hey, chill out.
No.
Hey, let's just let
All
that one
right,
go. Right there.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, the third half of the show, Your Royal Highness or
Yes.
Imperial wow, Your Royal Imperial Majesty.
You're
Am I
not good at
getting
this.
that
You're
right?
American.
Yeah,
Stuck the landing.
Yeah.
there we go.
Or you suck more.
Your Imperial Majesty Christina the First and Second of Cycoldia. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you,
We really
Christina.
appreciate it. We're going to take a break. You're listening to Chip Chat on Rip Radio Network.
Swoop.
Vintage got the heat.
We just getting started. We better take out on the ride real quick. Receipts album. Preach the Nomad. Got my man Tracy Lee here. DC, what up? Hey, yo, Philly, what up? We need the real hip hoppers all up in the front. Hey, yo, Trey, they know we rep for the culture, stay true. That the mother family shook like. I'm from that city where they go. Fried wings and mumbo. And that Run DMC never fed us like Run Joe. We hustle through the politics and still make figures. Call that Calico, Kwame, and polka dot
Coming
niggas.
with that blam blam. Pardon me for the grandstand, but you know I'ma put on the show, so get your handstand. In your city by way of Philly, it's the transplant. Dancing with these bars all top like only fans,
The
man.
only black man, y'all tap dancing with the man dance. We can't go for that. All the notes, straight call the folks. Party time, baby. Better show what the classics do. Cause you was rocking with Biggie, ain't you? From the Avenue.
Yep, and you was rapping with freestyle you. Until the youngins pull my stats, I used to freestyle too. We from the era with the aura. McDonald's parking lot to manage connection on Georgia. And you can rest assured there's no fear.
Got that dope shit thumping over here. Haters in the place, and you know they gon' stare. Y'all niggas still rockin'? Tell them hell yeah. We right here. Hey DC, what up? Hey yo Philly, what up? Tell them shorty play the back while we up in the cut. Hey yo Trey, they know we rep for the culture, stay true. Got the upper family shook like.
I'm tired of all this talk about DC hip hop and we not talking about the history. We talk about Prince, Trey Lee, the funk regulator, CeeLo, get him.
You dig? We the bridge and the glue. Since the bitch slide too. You hear the growth with every quote that I spew. Ask Dot and the berry, I'm buried in it and dead me. With these lines of tyranny, y'all sleeping apparently.
Apparently they wasn't there. I was busting stunts on the dance floor. 4 bras on me like I'm a man whore. 240s later outside of the club on that freestyle shit. Street teams pumping the flyers with
That
that.
decal shit, fucking your car up. Republic Guard tearing the bar
The
up.
next door stated that you on stage tearing the bars up. With that mic skill, put him to sleep like NyQuil.
Flexing on them in spite of the slight bit.
Yeah, Trey, nowadays I'm a little huskier with the man wing.
Different preceding the mandate.
Damn straight like hetero. Better know that you can bet up all your dough this year. We right here, preach the Trey Lee, nigga. There's no fear. Got that dope shit up and over here. Haters in the place, and you know they gon' stare. Y'all niggas still rockin', tell them.
Track 3 off of his new record, Receipts. It is called We Right Here, and it is really
Yes.
good. You got to go get this. Go get this is physical
Band
record.
camp tomorrow, you know. Grab
It's
it
available.
available right now.
Came out yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, or 2, I don't know, whatever. We had the inside track,
Yes.
so I have it here. Not everybody can do that, but he'll be on the show in a couple of weeks, or not? I don't know, a few weeks.
Few weeks is no so it's
I don't know how math works. All right, so we just got done talking to I I don't want to say owner of a micronation. That's not the right word.
It's not a
monarch.
team.
Monarch.
Yes.
Of the micronation of Cycoldia. And we were kicking around the idea that we should start a micronation. I don't know what the governance structure or any of that's going to be. We'll work that out later. The important thing, though, is the name.
Of course.
You got to have a good name.
Starts with the name.
Yeah. And, there's some great names out there, right? West Arctica is a great name. Slowjamistan is a great name. There's lots of good stuff.
Great names.
We now have a list of the various names that we've come up with for our new micronation. So, some of them are better than others.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right. You want to go down the list?
Yeah, let's go to the list.
You want to do the first one?
What is this? First one is Chipchatistan?
Chipchatistan.
Chipchatistan.
Chipchatistan, of course.
Yeah.
I Googled that. It does not exist. It's
It's
a Google Nope. You know what a Google Nope is?
Mm.
Something you search that returns 0 results. There's very few of them.
There are very few.
And as soon as you tweet about the Google Nope, it becomes a Google. There's another Google Whack. A Google Whack is a thing that returns exactly 1 result. There's very few of those. Even fewer of those than Google Nopes.
I realize there's so much of the internet that I just don't explore.
Yeah. Well. All right. Number 2, Radio Free America. Might already be taken.
That's probably gone.
I don't know. We'll find out. All right. Go ahead.
The Republic, formerly known as the United States of America.
Yeah. I feel like that's
if you can
going to
keep
be
it,
relevant. Yeah, right. If we can keep it. It doesn't have to be a real republic. We can just say republic, just like the DPRK. They say they're a republic. It's not a republic. Number 4, France. It's a good name.
Christ.
What? Is that already taken? It's not a real country.
That's,
All right, go ahead. You can get number 5.
Tacostan? Or how do you like? Do you stand or not?
Yeah, taco stand.
Taco stand.
We're going to taco stand. And get a burrito.
Good eats.
Yeah. All right.
I like this one.
Number 6, Old Bailey.
Obelia.
Yeah, of course.
We're in it.
Yeah, we live in Old Bailey.
We're currently in it right now, right inside of it.
Right, and
followed up by the Mumbos.
Right. It's just sort of like the Bahamas. It's the Mumbos.
The Mumbos Islands.
Yeah. All right. Number 8. I don't think I can pronounce this.
Ryan Amix.
Yeah.
Yep, it's Amex. Yep, the Amex.
The
Amex.
I like that place.
Amex, yeah.
I love that. I love credit. I heard someone say the other day, and I was like, "This is me." I was like, "I'm a I got to think about it," but it was around capitalism, and it was like, "Oh, an aspiring anti-capitalist."
Aspiring, yeah, because you like having money. Yeah, you like working and getting jobs. Money. All right, what's number 9 here?
The Cahostia Republic.
Yeah.
Hey, I live there.
Yeah. I mean, we both live there.
Yeah, that's right.
Nobody's sure who's in charge of this operation.
Well,
it's just like you're the co-host,
guest.
I'm the co-host.
It's a guest, obviously.
Right. Yeah, it's Her Majesty. All right. I feel like maybe you should say number 10.
No, white man's land.
Yes.
But Kanye and Kyrie for president.
Yes.
No. They're president. They're jesters.
Oh,
Jesus Christ. That's the thing. That's the problem, nigga. Two unserious people that have now taken up so much friggin' based on, like, again, a serious thing that they've touched on, but just 2 unserious individuals.
Have always been. Okay, number 11.
Oh, I love this one.
Yes, Gay Frogistan. Yes. I
know.
We know the anthem.
Hey, we know the anthem.
Yeah,
hey, another ruling came out for him today, I saw.
Yeah, what happened?
That he owes more.
Even more?
It's even more.
There's even more.
Oh, where is it? Do I have it close?
I feel so bad for Alex Jones.
No,
he's gonna be eating a lot of his neighbors.
I'll eat Mitch McConnell.
Corn on the cob. I'm ready. I love that part.
All right, what's the last one we got here on this list?
Oh, man.
Wait a minute. Did you write this or did you write this?
I wrote this.
Yeah, Brian wrote this.
The people's it's the People's Republic of Liberia. So pretty much everyone will be a librarian.
Yes.
I love it.
So, but here's
I'm ready.
There's parameters, though.
Yeah.
There are parameters.
All right,
in there.
good, Brian. What are the parameters?
all right. The parameters. Hold on, I gotta get to there. All right, the parameters is this is where Tez is king/prime minister.
Okay.
Of course, yeah.
All
I
citizens
like
will have a fully paid fare card to use at Metro.
Yes, they will.
Yes,
yes.
well, yeah.
Citizens will have their own library so
Wow.
they can learn some real factual shit. And finally, its national anthem is Sweeps in a low tone.
I just want to take people just behind the scenes for a minute. That's the bad bell. That inside the show notes, it says sweeps in a low tone.
Yes. The Brian sweeps.
Oh my God. I love that. Look. Hey.
What would the flag be? Just a book.
A collage of books.
Wait, would it have stripes or anything? It's
No,
just like
no,
a
no.
book in
It
the
was just-
corner
yeah, it's-
and a blank white field after that.
Yeah, there you go.
Or is it black field?
Black
Can't be a
field.
white field.
Can't be a white
No.
field.
It's not enough of those.
But also to a black field is kind of like,
It looks a little like a pirate flag.
yes.
That's cool.
I like pirate flags, you know.
With a book on it.
with a book
We're
on
going
it.
to invade you and make you read.
Yeah. Can't lead the horse to water, but we can force you to read.
See, we
You
would
know,
be
first
good
of all-
benevolent
No.
dictators.
First of all, I start forcing people to read. Her Majesty said she had 5 coup attempts.
Yeah.
5. They'd be ready to run me out of the.
But look at here. You're about to give everybody their own library so they can learn facts.
yeah,
Your chance to be ruler is 0.
yeah.
Once
that's
people learn
learned.
stuff, they don't want to be ruled by anybody.
And then once they start learning enough, I'll give up my power.
Well, why don't then it's just called like communism.
No, look. All right, everybody.
Look, somehow that's a bad word, but the word kibbutz is fine. So it's just a giant national kibbutz.
There we go.
It's we'll live on a kibbutz. It's good.
My mom went to Israel and goes on the kibbutz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally a communal farm.
Yeah.
People work, you live there, you work, everybody eats, it's all fine.
Look, again, the problem with communism is these despots sit around and read too much.
They're not doing communism.
They're not. That's the
They're
thing.
doing authoritarianism.
Mass, and they just throw out. They throw
They're just calling it that.
a sickle or something on the flag, or they throw some red on it, and then they run with it.
That's how you know it's bad. If it was good, it'd be blue. Toffee blue. Can't trust anything red. I mean,
I haven't worn my Nationals hat in a long time.
we're objective here.
That's
right. You don't want to be on. You don't want to get mistaken for a MAGA.
I was gonna put it on an election day as kind of a joke.
No.
And
No.
Chloe was like, "No," and I was like, "Nah, you're probably right. No, just put it on."
All right. Now we've come to a section called "Watch the Bad Guys." This is a weird section. Remember that time when Nancy Pelosi's husband Paul got attacked by a crazy dude with a hammer?
Yo, I haven't actually seen his face. That is exactly it. That's who would do it, right?
All right. So
There's a butt chin, of course.
yeah, he's got the butt chin. So this guy breaks into the Pelosi's home there in San Francisco, and he does not find Nancy, though he is definitely looking for Nancy. And he does, in fact, find Paul, and he gets into a fight, and there's a whole bunch of stuff, and then he ends up smashing him in the head with a hammer, and Paul Pelosi has to go to the hospital and barely survives, but we wish him well, and he's
home
doing
recovering,
better.
yes.
So that's all very good. On the right wing, on Fox News, this is not the story at all. There is this entirely
Are they really
separate
running with-
story of what they say happened.
That it's a tryst.
Yes.
Oh God, this is insane.
So some random, well, not random, some people on Fox, not just on Fox, but like elected officials started saying that this wasn't what happened, but that in fact this was some sort of weird gay lover thing with hammers. I don't know what they think gay people do with hammers.
All
by
right,
the way.
I have a block of lists of who said what, so I'm gonna show it to you. So
Yeah,
first,
we're gonna put it on the video here. If you're looking
all
at the
right, so
screen,
this is the first set. So these 4 people believe this was all staged. Of course, Trump is
Roger
home.
Stone.
Oh God.
What's her name? Amy Rogers, I think.
Amy
She's
Rogers.
from Arizona.
And Ben Field, who's supposed to be running for some bullshit. Secondly,
Benfield looks like a mean life.
yeah,
I know, right?
So these group of people thought they doubt all the facts. So we have your homeboy Cruz. We have Megyn Kelly. We have Glenn Beck. We have Cockhole Carson. And then we got
Devin Nunes and his cow.
Yep. And Robinson.
So basically, the right-wing media establishment and some elected officials.
Yeah, just doubt the facts. Now, the funny part is they believe that this is a lover's quarrel.
Right.
Is these 6 people, and one of them is your homegirl MJG and Elon Musk.
Yeah, which is very serious when you are the owner of the digital town square.
All right, so here's the quote from the New York Times, the failing New York Times. Quote, the misinformation came from all levels of Republican politics. A U.S. senator circulated the view that, quote, none of us will ever know, end quote, what really happened.
That's insane.
That was Cruz. At the Pelosi San Francisco home. A senior Republican congressman referred to the attacker as, quote, a nudist hippie male prostitute, baselessly asserting that the suspect had a personal relationship with Mr. Pelosi. Former President Orange Shitbag, that was a direct quote from the New York Times, questioned whether the attack might have been staged.
I don't know.
Then the world's richest man helped by amplifying the stories. But none of it was true. The flood of falsehoods shows how ingrained misinformation has become inside the GOP, where the reflexive response of the rank and file, even a few prominent figures, to anything that might cast a negative light on the right is to deflect with more fictional claims, creating a vicious cycle that muddles facts, shifts blame, and minimalizes violence.
Yeah, I think and there's no consolation prize when you have your boy Youngkin sending a handwritten note in to say, like, because you use this as a ploy for an election scheme.
He raised the money. He can make the apology afterwards and get away scot-free.
Yeah.
Glenn Youngkin within hours of this attack.
Within hours, went on stage
in front of a bunch of people and said that again, showcasing his lack of understanding of civics, that if we elect enough Republicans from Virginia, we can send Nancy Pelosi back home.
Oh, that's how it works.
Not how it works. She's still elected by her own district, but okay.
What the hell? Okay, you fucking idiot.
So that's Rex Tillerson. You don't get to call him fucking idiot.
Oh,
Rex
yeah.
Tillerson gets okay.
Yeah, sorry
so like Youngkin was like, yeah, we're gonna he goes, Paul Pelosi was brutally attacked in his home. If we get enough votes, we're going to send Nancy to go back home and be with him. And then, and people were like, yay, at the rally.
Sick.
That's really sick.
Like, we can't, like, we're normalizing beating up old people.
Yeah, we're not just normalizing, glorifying raising money off the very idea of beating up an old man with a hammer. What are we talking about?
Breaking and entering?
Well, the party of law and order.
Like, that's the party we're talking about, right?
We are.
No, it's and I do think Elon, like, because it's evident where he's at with this and what he's right. It's a power play, right?
Yeah, but don't think that it's just like that he'll be willing to play both sides.
No.
He's a right-wing extremist.
Yeah, but the power play is keeping.
He's Ted Cruz with the wrong accent.
The grievance. The party of grievance, the people of grievance.
He's an Afrikaner.
Exactly, a people of grievance.
Could it be more so?
Like, and again, when you control an information
white African.
Space, yes, it's in like, which are Dutch.
Yeah,
right. It's not a thing. You're Dutch. That's fucking are. You're Dutch. All right, stop it. Just as bad as the black Israelites.
Yes, it's the same fucking
shit.
thing.
Is he freaking idiot?
You can't just claim this thing.
What the fuck is going on? But yeah, no. But when you control an information space like that, like, and you tweet out things that, hey, we want to balance out parties. Like, don't do like. But I know why you do that. I get why you do that. I understand it. It's clear as day. right? Like, you know where your power lies.
Look, I think that there is a legitimate argument to say.
Biden wouldn't say it in his speech the other day. He wouldn't come out and say, because I get it. It's a company. It's an American company. I get it.
It's not just that it's a company. Like, the company has its own.
Yeah.
The government can't get
Do
involved.
it. Exactly. I get why
The
I
First
said that.
Amendment is very clear about
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
No
I get
matter
it.
how little the Republicans understand it, but
Yeah.
there,
Section 230. I'm here for it.
there is a reasonable argument that says divided government, or at least policy that comes out of divided government, is more steadfast. Because if it comes from both sides, left and right, and they both can come to some agreement on it, it is unlikely to get overturned. It is unlikely to get batted around. It is more agreeable. And I know people who vote in terms of creating divided until
So we're not there. Yeah, we're not there anymore.
We're not there anymore. But
Yeah. I could argue we've never been there.
But between like the end of the war and
Yes.
and now, like, that was a reasonable thing. So like the Voting Rights Act comes amidst divided government, and it is supported by divided government for decades upon decades. Not anymore.
Right.
Okay, but like civil rights law also comes out of divided government. Medicare comes out of divided government. Like, these things come out of divided government, and they are easily adhered to because everybody's got a stake in it, and because these were policies that were hashed out and agreed upon.
And you could have at that time Republicans and Democrats that would vote different ways depending on what it is. Like, you might have a pro-choice.
They would trade votes with
Republican
each other,
in the
but
sense,
also
yeah,
they could recognize the benefit in the other guy's argument.
Yeah.
They might not want to sign on to it. They might not want to make the argument themselves, but to go ahead and vote for it
No one
and
would
say it's for the good of the country, because it is for the good of the country.
And we weren't demonizing people, making them this evil
The concept of good of the country.
Yeah.
For the good of the country.
Not good of party.
Right. Was a real thing. The Eisenhower Republicans were out here voting for civil rights.
Yeah.
Like, this is a thing. Okay.
And Lyndon B. Johnson took the biggest of all.
Lyndon Johnson,
yeah.
people might not remember, is from Texas.
And again, what he decided to do is kind of a little it's kind of crazy, actually.
It isn't crazy if you go read the like million page. I actually read a thing. I don't know if you read it.
I have not read that.
It's very thick. It's the biography of LBJ. There's like volumes of it.
Right.
But there's this moment where he decides that, like, come hell or high water, he's going to make civil rights happen in these United States, and he will figure out a way to make it do it.
Done it.
It seems to be the
He's
case.
the only one.
And he did it by sheer force of will.
Yeah, it's like one of those. It's a crazy thing.
He like grabbed people by their ears. He was like, "You're gonna vote the way I tell you to vote, or I'm gonna break your fucking nose."
It was
like,
a wild
he was
shit.
no joke. But like, what I'm talking about is that there is a legitimate argument that divided government produces better results. When Elon is talking about it now in 2022, that is not the case. There is no good faith other side. There is one party that is interested in democracy, and there is another party that is interested in subverting and destroying democracy. Those are not things that can reach an equilibrium in good faith. Elon is a white supremacist. He is a right-wing extremist. There is no two ways about this. So don't take him at his word. He's full of shit. And get off of his stupid bird app. Right after you follow me.
Mastodon.
Yeah. At ChipChat RR, by the way. At ChipChat. All right. So all of this happens, and they amplify this story where they think that this was a breakout, not a break-in. Trump tells everybody that Paul Pelosi was in this like gay struggle with a hammer. Again, I'm not sure what they think gay people do with hammers. And they even end up like tweeting these sick images of like old man underpants and a hammer.
Yeah,
they're out there making jokes about we're going to take the gavel from Pelosi and give her the hammer. Like, this is sickening shit. This is outright political violence.
It is that. It's not. Yeah, it's simple and plain.
So when I tell everybody that like I'm relieved to the extent of the outcome of the elections, I am also very worried, and this is your cue to talk me out of this. I am very worried that the right wing is not going to take their drubbing, which they were beat at the ballot box badly. I do not think they are going to take it lying down, and I do think they are going to respond with violence.
No. I don't think that. I think the base that responds with violence is that hardcore Trump base. From what I have seen, is there's going to be a shift. I do think, and the battle will now happen. The civil war will happen within the Republican Party. That is what's about to happen.
Explain that.
I do believe that you have folks, even with Fox, just watching where they've moved. And it's not real until Hannity comes out and editorializes.
They called Trump a loser for the last 2 days.
Yeah, but until Hannity does it,
they're going to backtrack on that. 100%.
When Hannity does it, then I'll believe it fully. But still, because there's some rogue motherfuckers at Fox News who are kind of like, we want to do some news shit.
They're going to get fired.
Yeah, they more than likely. But
they're trying to get jobs on CNN.
I do think though, if there is a movement away from this, and we can see that, hey, talking about the elections rigged, these things aren't working. If you can talk about, if you can focus in on these school boards, if you can run more of a Ron DeSantis, like, even though you're running
like straight up racism,
straight up, like, hey, let's do this.
Dangerous black criminals.
Let's do this the right way.
Exactly. Emphasis on right.
Emphasis on right. Like, yeah, let's go back to old methods of that. But then what you're going to have is you're going to have that diehard base that is the rabid base. You're going to have the like Liz Cheney's and Hogan's. Then you're going to have like the Ron DeSantis's that like, and that is going to be a very weird thing for them to try to reconcile.
So are they going to circular firing squad themselves?
I think so. I think watching what happens with
shoot at each other.
Will McCarthy win this? Will he become the Speaker of the House?
As we've said on this show, I'm 100% convinced that Dumb Kevin has made a bad deal.
I think he has. As he should look at his predecessors and realize what happened. If you look at Boehner,
why is Boehner retired? Why is Paul Ryan retired? Why is Denny Hastert in jail? No, that's cuddling kids. But like, what is his prospects here?
Yeah.
By contrast, you look at Pelosi, return to the speakership.
Better politician, just
just better at everything.
Better at everything. But I think one of the
Dumb Kevin has made a bad deal. I'll put a 6-pack on it tonight that the Republican caucus will sideline Dumb Kevin for somebody. I think they're going to do it, and they're going to put Trump in as the speaker.
No,
they can do it. They can do it,
and
they might do it.
It's not happening.
But I think they're going to skip him. I think they're going to go to Scalise or MTG or somebody else.
Yeah, Scalise sounds plausible.
He's a shot in the dark.
It's a shot in the dark. That even seems a little too it needs to be a little more extreme.
And nothing for that. It's a shot.
Oh God, no, because we're not condoning.
We're not condoning.
I don't know. I'm not giving that one. All right,
it's as bad as the Youngkin joke. It's kind of the same joke. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to send him a letter. There's a long way to go.
Yeah, that's a good.
I was working on it.
That's a good letter joke.
And already written. Thank you. All right. The other thing is that, Elon fired like half the staff at Twitter.
Asked him to come back.
And then he immediately asked him to come back because it turns out he doesn't know how to work anything.
Technically, they had to be on, just so they didn't violate certain labor laws.
Wasn't just that.
Yeah, but some of them, I think it was a play to keep them on, but then he realized the shit wasn't going to work. They lost a lot of people. Like you work this morning. You
work in a technical field.
Yeah, I work policy.
I work in a technical field too. If I'm not there and I want to, I can make it so your heat doesn't work. And you better be nice to me or your heat doesn't work. Like, that's an easy thing for me to do. This is effectively what happened. He fired all the people at Twitter. They hit that button that was like copy paste on the code that they were saving to like, fuck everything up if they ever got fired.
Yep.
And they just walked out the door. And then,
and people resigned this morning. Like, they lost their privacy officer this morning, chief compliance officer. Like, all they lost, people resigned who are already on that were not fired. Resigned this morning.
They're like, I don't want to be part of this.
Messing with this as well, too. We got people, we see what happens when you can just let anybody have check marks. And the app has legit went to shit in 1 week. And it was already bad.
It's already garbage. But it's become even more garbage. It's also functionally not working very well.
Yeah.
Like, the search function even doesn't work. Like, that's pretty bad. Come on. What year is it? 1997.
Right?
He's using Alta Vista to
Alta
run.
Vista was a good Alta Vista was good at the time.
I'm sorry. He's using Lycos.
There you go.
To run Twitter.
There you go. I was like,
It's a Lycos joke.
Alta Vista was that.
Come on, I got something. That's a Lycos joke. All right.
Beginnings of the internet.
Yeah. Dial up. You weren't even alive yet.
Look here, friend. I had a 28K modem, and I went to Staples, and I got a 56K.
You had a 28K? Must have been nice.
It was very
We're
nice.
14.4.
I went and got a 56K, and I didn't understand the ESD, the electrostatic discharge, and fried my modem. And I took it back to Staples, and they were like, "No, we're not taking."
We
this
had the
shit."
modem.
I was so upset as a kid. I saved all
We
my
had the
allowance for
modem
that
where you
shit.
had to put the phone receiver on the modem
Yes,
to make it work. So,
Ugh.
you know,
Lord.
good. Whatever. Children these days. Also, in the election that just happened, there were various ballot initiatives that passed. Importantly, Michigan, Kentucky, California, Vermont, they all followed the lead of checks notes. Kansas? Kansas? They preserved a woman's right to choose in some fashion or another. Some states finally got rid of slavery.
They did.
Notably, Louisiana did not.
Oh, hell. What?
I saw that, yeah.
Wait, hold on. They're the poster child of convict leasing. They have a prison, was a plantation.
That's exactly
called
why
Angola.
Right, which is a country in Africa. Yes.
That is one of the craziest things about this place that we live in.
They specifically didn't vote against it because of how much money they make renting out prisoners.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
yes. Yeah, you know.
I just don't understand how the
slavery still
amendments,
legal in Louisiana.
and then like the 14th Amendment just rules for business every time. It's just fucking frustrating.
Well, you know, LSU did beat Bama, so it's all fine. I'll take it. It all makes up for it. It's good to go. Let's see. Wisconsin reelected Tony Evers, which we mentioned that. We have no idea what's going on in Arizona. Do we have an update from Arizona since we talked about it earlier?
Wait till next week.
Hobbs still leading.
Hobbs is leading.
Okay,
That's good.
I like it.
What is Carrie Lake going to do when she loses? I don't think she's going to do Brian's favorite thing.
No.
Brian, would you watch Carrie Lake porn?
Hell fucking no.
There you go.
She's the only lake holding water around those parts.
I give you that one. All right, Maryland kind of legalized weed. Maryland basically
it's done.
Well, yeah, but they pulled the DC thing. You can't buy it or sell it.
No,
but you can have it. You can grow it and kind of.
Which is so. I don't know. It's not
smoke
a federal.
them if you got them.
Federal.
That's the DC law.
Yeah.
Smoke them if you got them.
Hey, look.
All right, you want to do a quick test talk?
We'll keep it really quick.
Ass birds.
Or the ones that are flying around. So there's the robin, right? So we have the American robin, which is your favorite state, Michigan.
Yep.
Your
second favorite.
I don't know. Sometimes
I like my home state.
I don't know. Sometimes I think you like Michigan more than you like Virginia.
We win more.
Yeah,
that's fine.
You know.
All right, go Blue.
Yeah, but
don't you dare.
It is hey, if it's up there, put it up. The American robin has been the Michigan state bird since 1931. But it has some competition though. There's a different bird. Do you know what bird this is?
The Kirtland warbler.
The warbler. The warbler is out there.
This is a wild bird.
It's a wild bird.
There's not very many of
those, and not for long.
Do you want to know like this insane thing about this bird? Where does it live?
Hold on, where does
it lives in Michigan, but only in northern Michigan and the UP. There's not very many, and like it flies south someplace. But importantly, it nests in the jack pine forests, and the jack pine trees only reproduce after fire.
Oh wow!
Right. So this bird was doing fine until people came along and started putting out forest fires, and now
it's like I can't
its
even
habitat disappeared because
it was an endangered species, right? Yeah,
they were
protected.
down to 400 of these birds. Now there's a few thousand, which is progress.
And I agree that there's been a I don't know, it didn't necessarily was it on the ballot? Because I know you have to make these changes to like this, but
no, it's just going through their house
in there. But again, you probably should flip out the robin because the robin is already a bird for three other places. Connecticut has one. Wisconsin is the robin. There's enough robins.
Virginia's got the cardinal, which is we're one of 11 states that has a cardinal.
Yeah.
But Brian, put the bird back up.
Yeah, the
if
bird
you
is a
wanna
good
take a
looking
look
bird.
at that.
Wobbler.
You'll notice what color is the bird.
It's go blue.
It's maize and blue.
It is maize and blue.
It could not be the more Michigan bird.
No, it should be for Ukraine.
Go blue.
Go blue. There it is, baby. There it is. There.
I hate you guys.
That's fine.
All right. I don't even know what to say about this one. The orange guy lost. All the people that he endorsed, they lost, except for JD Vance.
Yeah, besides that. So high.
So he went on this like tirade. He went on his fake Twitter and he was going after Joe O'Day, who lost to Bennett in Colorado there because he didn't embrace Trump enough. But then all of the other people who did embrace Trump, they got beat bad, hammered, much like not touching that one. That guy Bulldog in New Hampshire lost to Maggie Hassan by like $1 billion. That guy didn't know whether he was coming or going, and Trump didn't know whether he was coming or going either. Don Bulldog was a very nice guy, but he lost tonight when he disavowed, after his big primary win, his longstanding stance on election fraud in the 2020 presidential primary. Presidential primary in 2020? What? That's a direct quote
That's
from
a direct
Trump.
quote, yeah.
Had he stayed strong and true, he would have won easily. Lesson learned. He wrote that. He wrote that down. He had a chance to like edit that, and he still was like, print. Primary? I don't know.
Hey.
Whatever.
You know what? Because it's election season, I was listening to the big broadcast on Sunday.
Of course.
I heard the two songs that went up in 1960 when Richard Nixon went up against JFK. And JFK has Frank Sinatra with the "Oops, there goes another" that. And can I have you guess what the name of Richard Nixon's song was?
That was a Pat Boone song or something like that.
The name of the song was "Click with Dick."
Of course it was.
And it's the funniest song I ever heard. And shout out to the big broadcast for making me more educated on it. I was just sitting around laughing.
Way to go, Richard Nixon, inventing the internet. Click with Dick.
Click with Dick.
Yes, that's the internet. Is that not? It is the internet. Ask Brian. All right.
Me as a teenager watching porn.
Okay. Gonna be Lauren Boebert in a minute. All right, you hear that music, and I correctly predicted we will be way over at this point without filling in the rest of the show. Thanks to Her Imperial Majesty Christina the First and Second of Cycoldia.
Yes, first and second, yes.
Thanks to our new citizens of whatever country we are. We haven't decided what that is. Prepare to be ruled with
Libraria.
an iron fist. I like the Libraria.
Libraria, I love
Brian,
it.
check and see if Libraria already exists.
I'm gonna make a Mastodon server of Libraria.
Thanks to our radio partners, Google, Stitcher, KUT Austin, and of course Truth Social.
Hey.
Thanks to NOTN for keeping us on for another week, maybe. No idea. Thanks to our home on the interwebs, coplaymedia.com, and thanks as always to our family here at Rip Radio for making us sound as smooth as Lauren Boebert's campaign. All right, where can everybody get you on the social medias?
You can find me at Twitter for now.
At Twitter?
You can find me at Twitter for now at DC Cortez. And I'm currently exploring different Mastodon servers right now, and I'll let you know where I'm at for that. I like newsy.whatever social so far.
We'll figure that out.
We'll figure that out. And on the Book of Face, which has just let off 11,000 fucking people. You can find me at Ketchum Courtney.
There you go. All right, you can find me and the show at ChipChatRR on the Twitters, and you can find us on Facebook or Instagram at RipChipChat, and you can, of course, find us every Thursday night.
And not the Book of Face. I'm on Instagram. I'm
Instagram.
only on Instagram, not on Facebook.
He's just on Instagram.
It's gonna be the name of my book.
There's some sort of
It's gonna be the name of my book.
Yes.
I'm not on Facebook, only Instagram.
And you can, of course, find us every Thursday night, or most Thursday nights, here on Rip Radio Network at 9:30. I'm Chip. That says that's Brian. You've been listening to Chip Chat on Rip Radio Network.
Sweeps.